I'm going to open up the meeting of the Asbury Park City Council Wednesday, October 28, 2015. I'm going to do roll call. Councilmember Clayton? Here. Councilmember Kendall?
Here.
Councilmember Werner?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Quinn? Here. Mayor Moore?
Here.
All right, I'm going to get all the formalities done first, and then we'll just roll right into work session. So can everybody please rise for a silent prayer or reflection, please? Flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As to comply with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Local Public Law, 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. The annual notice was forwarded to the Asbury Park Press, the Coast, and the Star Ledger on January 2nd, 2015, and posted on the bulletin board the same date. All notices were filed with the city clerk. We'll now go into our work session. Tony?
All right, review and follow up regarding any issues that were brought up at the work session on October 26th. All right, for those of you who are here, we had quite a few issues for follow-up. All right, we worked on as many of them as we possibly could. All right, and I'm going to read off our list here of what we've gotten so far. All right, unfortunately, there were a number of other matters that we were unable to look into at this point. All right, and we will have a readout and report out to you, all right, for the next council meeting. All right, from the public, all right, the first issue, there were several issues of motor vehicle issues. The first was, again, there was a concern expressed about a Corvette with New York license plates and two cones parked to the, all right, two cones behind it, parked on the north side of 2nd Avenue, all right, at the corner of Heck. All right, it hasn't moved in a while. All right, this matter was brought to the police department. All right, the deputy chief informed me today is that all right, there were no violations of either municipal ordinances, all right, or Title 39, all right, and that there was nothing that we could do in regards to the vehicle not moving. All right, they will, though, all right, contact the owner and ask the owner, all right, to consider moving the vehicle from the street. The second concern was expressed about speeding on Ridge Avenue, particularly south of Springwood Avenue. All right, there was a suggestion, all right, about the installation of a speed bump and a road sign. All right, the deputy chief has been informed about this. All right, he's going to have, all right, police, all right, set up radar there. We will look into, all right, the installation of a sign, all right, and possibly at some point, all right, you know, a speed bump, all right, if appropriate. There was several concern about several vehicles parked in the 100 block of Atkins Avenue with flat tires and expired inspection stickers. That also was referred to the police department. My understanding is that the police were there, all right, earlier today to deal with the vehicles. There was concern regarding the road work at Memorial and Springwood Avenue. All right, I've been in contact with the county engineering department today. All right, they've been informed. They know about the problem there. All right, there is a light post stanchion that has to be removed. All right, and capped. All right, and the paving, all right, around the gully area that will be addressed. All right, thirdly, there was concern expressed that the salary of an employee assigned to community development and working on mercantile licenses is being paid fully through the community, all right, development block grant program. All right, it has been confirmed by the finance office that 50% of the employee's salary is being paid through CDBG funds and 50% is being paid through the clerk's office, all right, for the work that's being done on mercantile. There was a concern expressed that the city employees were removing, all right, the old light stanchions, all right, from the boardwalk and taking them out of the state. All right. The dismantling of the light stanchions has not even started at this point. All right, so no fixtures have been taken down. That's my understanding is that, all right, well, I've been informed, all right, is that there was construction, all right, with the construction of the iStar parking lot, all right, just south of the sewer plant, all right, during the construction of it, all right, there was an old fixture, all right, that was removed by, all right, the contractor who was doing the work for the, all right, developer at the time, iStar. All right, no city employees have done anything, all right, with any of the light stanchions at this time. Matters from the City Council.
I have a couple follow-ups. First, before any of the follow-ups even, the Board of Ed elections, there's general elections, but in Asbury Park, the Board of Ed elections are next week, and I know traditionally we don't have as high a turnout as for some other elections, so I would just encourage everyone to come out for the board elections. It's a very important election this year. The second point from Monday's workshop, which I did a little bit of research on and thought a bit about, was the 1033 program where we buy military surplus. And I was just thinking, and wanted to put this in front of the council now, when we get to the vote we can discuss. There was some talk about we would need to craft a policy that would guide how we purchase those things. And my thought was that maybe we should craft that policy before we go ahead with this ordinance, just because in looking online, 85% of the things are office equipment, but 15% of the things are things that, military grade things that we might not want to be purchasing. And I was just thinking we might want to table it, get an actual policy in place first, and approve the policy when we pass that resolution to go ahead and join that agreement. Just a thought. And the third point was just to make a couple of comments about the state's letter regarding the road diet. So I was actually shocked. I think we all were that they came back with, just a kind of acceptance of what we had requested. And my thinking was that we were going to probably be in a dialogue with the state about what aspects of the road diet make sense, what aspects don't. And it didn't seem like that was, they just kind of said, okay, we'll do these things. But I guess I may be the only one that thinks it wasn't necessarily a win for the city, because we did not get more trees, we did not get dedicated bike lanes, and we didn't get any additional bump outs. So I would just put it in front of the council, in front of the community, that hopefully that there were concerns that we raised and we discussed, that we can still have an ongoing dialogue about the road diet and see what pieces make sense. I think some of the pieces the states came back with make sense. I think other pieces we were looking for them to do more. And I know we said the road diet is dead, but I would hope that we can have continued dialogue about it, because I think there are still some concerns to be addressed. And I think that was all I had from the last meeting.
Again, I did this on Monday, but again, I want to thank all of the people who came out and supported Pride in the Park. We had over 50 residents, and half of them were students from the high school and the middle school that came out on 2 Saturdays and worked and cleaned up the city. So I wanted to say thank you to them, and also to just alert the public that the American Red Cross installed over 100 smoke detectors on the 17th in the city, and they'll be repeating this program over and over again throughout the coming year.
Yes. Before I get to my concerns, tonight we will be announcing that we have a new city manager. But before we do that, I'd like to just thank Tony and Kevin for picking up the slack over the last few months. They've been very helpful, and we thank you. I know I can speak for the councils. I know Mayor Moore expressed his feelings this afternoon, and I just want to let you guys know that we appreciate it.
But it was the wrong scotch you got me.
Excuse me?
It was the wrong scotch. Did you give me the right scotch?
Well, that's when you walk out the door. There was a concern made from someone in another concerning jobs. We are not the unemployment office, even though we have in mind to come up with jobs somehow or another, and we've been working with different organizations, but we're not the unemployment office. One of the things I did all day yesterday, and it took about a half a tank of gas, is to go around Monmouth County, and there is jobs available. There's jobs at Home Depot, there's jobs at ShopRite, there's jobs at Rite Aid, there's jobs, and I can just go on and on. So when you come up here and attack the council, please know what you're talking about. And it's nothing personal, it's all about business. Because I just had a relative just got out the Navy, a female, and she'd been with me a month, and she have a job. That's because she wasn't lazy, and she went out and got online, and she did a leg work, and she was able to get a job. And I stopped in a lot of these places, and they saying, the doors are open, so apply. So I just want the people that are concerned about the jobs, there is jobs opening. Thank you.
So this is my first council meeting back, so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who dropped me a line, dropped me a present, dropped me an email, or dropped me a call congratulating me on having a baby. That's all.
That's it?
That's it.
I just want to follow up on Jesse a little bit. Tony, I can't thank you enough. We've been friends for many years. The job you did...
We used to be friends.
Okay. Hey, Johnny Walker Blues is as high as I can go, guy. You know, I did my best. I think you gave... No, I guess I gave you more gray hairs than you gave me. I had mine already, but I can never thank you enough for what you've done for Asbury Park since January, filling in, and you did an excellent job under adverse conditions, and deeply appreciate it, and just thank you, thank you, thank you.
Anyone else?
And Kevin.
He doesn't have any gray hair yet.
No,
Matters from the city manager. All right, first matter. All right, I want to counter on what John had said, and I want to thank Kevin. All right, because, you know, Kevin, all right, was out there. All right, Kevin did a lot of the legwork for me. All right, he was out there doing a lot of the follow-up that people asked for. All right, you know, it would have been impossible, and I probably would have been looking to choke all 5 council members if I didn't have Kevin there to, you know, to give me a hand. All right, so I really appreciate all of the help that I got from Kevin. The second issue that I have on the agenda, for manager's agenda, all right, is we talked a little bit on Monday about the best practices. All right, we have to bring them up again this evening. All right, Ricky Garch from our finance office. All right, our CFMO. All right, he's here. He's just going to go over them very quickly. All right, Rick.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. In accordance with the state requirements, I was required to follow our best practices checklist by October 16th, which I did. I had gone over it with Tony, and we are required at tonight's meeting to discuss it. I believe you've all been provided a copy of this. There were 50 questions that were asked. Of the 50 questions, we answered 41 in the affirmative, and we will retain 100% of our state aid. I won't go through each question. I will field questions if anybody has anything specific they'd like to go over.
I did, and now I can't find my packet, but I did reach out to Tony and ask him to get me clarification on a few of the things that we said yes on that I was a little confused about. One being the policy on taking home city cars. You know, what our policy is on that, because we have a policy and I don't know the policy.
I don't know which question it is.
Yeah, I can't find my thing. Hold on. Oh, got it.
Okay. We report in each individual, whoever is authorized to take one home, they get reported in their W-2, the $3 added for commuting mileage.
Pardon? I'm sorry, can you say that again?
It refers to the W-2, that we include $3 per day for the days that they have the car at home for commuting mileage in accordance with the IRS regulations.
So
those people who are authorized to take one.
Okay, so it's regarding the,
This is all finance issues.
Gotcha. All right, I get.
While you're looking, number 8,
Number 8, yes.
it's about our participation in FEMA's insurance program,
Correct.
and we don't participate? Are we planning to?
I believe it's not that we do not participate, it's in the process of obtaining a ranking of at least a Class 9. Last year's answer was no, I had not provided the update to obtain that last year.
Yvonne also had a question about number 50.
Yes. To my knowledge, the manual hasn't been updated since 1992.
Oh, so we need to work on that. And number 10, we're delinquent?
There are certain individuals that had not filed it at the time that I had submitted the report. That's correct.
Have they filed?
I do not have that information available. I have to check with Scott.
Some have not still. City council has all filed.
All right.
Going back to the deputy mayor,
No, that's it.
you had a question on 31 also.
I did have a question on 31 and getting the quarterly budget reviews emailed to me. Just asking that they be emailed to me.
Email, okay.
Yeah, sure.
No problem.
That's all I got.
That's it.
Thank you.
All right, I have one more matter to bring up. 5 months ago, the city council signed an agreement with a company called Jersey Professional Management to start the search, the ruling search, for a city manager. The credentials of 37 potential candidates were presented to the city council, and through an intense discussion and research, we eventually narrowed down the field to 15 candidates. The good news is that this evening, I had the privilege to inform you that we have a new city manager starting November 9th. Your new city manager is an energetic, young individual, doesn't have a whole lot of gray hair yet. He has an extensive background in all phases of municipal government. I had the privilege of reaching out to all of his professional references, and I can pleasingly inform you that they were not happy with his leaving his current place of employment. He received nothing but the highest accolades from each of them. I've never heard such glowing responses from people who were losing their city manager. Our new manager has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from York College of Pennsylvania, a master's in criminal justice from St. Joseph's University, a master's of public administration from Kane University, and he has an extensive experience in all phases of municipal operations, including union negotiations, planning and zoning, policy and statistical analysis, public works operations, land use development, economic development, community development, budgeting, and fiscal management. In addition to all of his program management skills, he's recently completed his CFMO training, and he will be testing next month for his CFMO certification. I would like to introduce Michael Capabianco, our new city manager.
Coming out tonight to see me. They're very gracious. I know it wasn't publicized that much. There's two things I want to say. Is that I haven't looked for a job in about 5.5 years. I live now in Aberdeen. We moved down here about a year ago. And when Tony's saying that it was an intensive search, it was. The council did a fantastic job in the interview process, where some of the questions that I was asked, I told the Little Ferry Council in Bergen County, where I currently work, that you need to ask some of these questions too. So the men and women up here who represent you did a fantastic job on the search process. There is something though bureaucratically that I do want to address is, as the councilwoman asked the question about the FEMA aspect, that is to me one of the first things I want to address. Under flood insurance rules, the NFIP program, Right now, if you have flood insurance in the city, you do not get a reduction. Under the NFIP program, there's a thing called the CRS, it's a community rating system, where you can get in increments of 5% off of your flood insurance. It's real money in people's pockets. I've already started talking to the state, started talking to some other floodplain managers about getting that program implemented quickly. It's about a 12-month process, it's labor intensive, but hopefully can come in at what it would be a CRS 7, CRS 6, and save 15 to 20% off everyone's flood insurance within the next 18 months. That's one of my personal goals that I want to try to accomplish quickly, is putting money back into people's pockets with this. Again, I want to thank everyone on the council for their work, for Tony and Kevin for taking the time to show me around town. Everyone that I spoke to when I told people I was leaving Little Ferry and coming here, the response was, that is a great place, you're lucky to be there. And I'm thankful and lucky to be here. Thank you, guys.
That's all I have. Matters from the city attorney?
I have no matters to address at this time.
All right, we're going to roll right into the regular session at the